On June 14, 1924, Elias Moreau walked into the Salpêtrière Hospital in Paris. He wasn't screaming. He wasn't bleeding. He simply sat down and asked for a priest. When the doctor asked why, Elias replied, "Because I have lost the ability to die." Elias hadn't slept in 11 days. Most humans die after 11 days without sleep. Their hearts seize or their brains swell until they burst. But Elias was different. His temperature was a perfect 37. His heart rate was a steady 60 beats per minute. By the time he was moved to Ward 6B, something even more terrifying happened. The man in the next bed stopped sleeping. Then the woman across the hall. Then the nurses. Welcome to the history of the stay-awake plague. A medical anomaly so terrifying, the French government buried the records for 80 years. Because in Ward 6B, the nightmare didn't happen when you closed your eyes. It happened because you couldn't. Dr. Jean-Luc Vallée was the head of neurology. He initially thought it was a new strain of encephalitis lethargica, the sleeping sickness that was sweeping the globe. But that disease made people sleep for years. Ward 6B was doing the opposite. Elias Moreau wasn't clockmaker. He told Dr. Vallée that his internal gears had snapped. Vallée performed a physical vigilance test. He placed a single drop of acid on Elias's arm. Elias didn't flinch. He just watched the skin burn. He said, "I can feel it. I just don't care. My mind has no place to process the pain anymore." By day 15, Elias's pupils had fixed. He no longer constricted in light. He was a living camera, constantly recording, never processing. Then came the sympathetic wakefulness. It didn't spread like a virus. It spread like a frequency. If you spent more than 4 hours in Ward 6B, your sleep cycle vanished. A young nurse named Claire was the first staff member to catch it. She reported that the silence in the ward was loud. Usually, a hospital ward at night is full of snoring, heavy breathing, and shifting bodies. Ward 6B was silent. 12 patients, sitting or lying perfectly still, eyes open, staring at the ceiling. Claire wrote in her diary, "They aren't resting, they are waiting. When I walk past their beds, their eyes follow me in perfect unison. They don't blink. If I blink, I feel like I'm missing something they all see." Science tells us that sleep is when the brain flushes out toxins. Without it, the brain becomes a stagnant pond. By day 30, the wallpaper effect began. Patient 4, a former soldier, claimed his memories were no longer inside his head. He could see them projected on the hospital walls. He watched his own childhood play out like a film strip while he ate his soup. This is what doctors now call waking REM. The brain is so desperate to dream that it forces the dream state into the conscious world. They were hallucinating with the clarity of 4K resolution. They were talking to people who weren't there, but with the calm, rational tone of a person ordering coffee. This is where the story shifts from medical mystery to pure horror. Dr. Vallée noticed that the hallucinations were no longer individual. Patient 2 would describe a tall man in a gray suit standing in the corner. Patient 7, who was blind, would point to the exact same corner and say, "He's staring at the doctor now." They were sharing a nightmare. Their brain waves, forced into a permanent state of high-frequency beta waves, had begun to synchronize. Ward 6B had become a single, multi-bodied organism. On the 40th night, the screaming began, not from the patients, but from the walls. The patients all whispered in one voice, "The gray suit is opening the door." The door to what? They wouldn't say. Or perhaps they couldn't. Dr. Helena Weiss, a physicist brought in years later to study the records, found the trigger. The hospital had recently installed a primitive radiotelegraphy array on the roof, directly above Ward 6B. A faulty grounding wire had turned the structural steel of the ward into a giant induction coil. It was emitting a constant, low-frequency electromagnetic field at exactly 7.83 Hertz, the Schumann resonance, but amplified. It didn't just keep them awake, it locked their pineal glands. It was a neurological prison. The brain couldn't trigger the off switch, because the building itself was telling the brain it was midday every second of every hour. When the hospital finally cut the power to the array, the results were catastrophic. They didn't just fall asleep. Their brains, hit with 40 days of sleep debt all at once, experienced a total synaptic collapse. Of the 12 patients, 9 died instantly. Their hearts literally stopped from the shock of the sudden rest. Elias Moreau survived, but he never spoke again. He spent the rest of his life in a catatonic state, his eyes half closed, his brain trapped in a permanent gray zone. Today we live in a world of constant frequency. Wi-Fi, 5G, blue light, 24-hour cycles. We are the most sleep-deprived generation in human history. We think we are hacking our productivity. But Ward 6B taught us that sleep is the border between being human and being something else. Every night, when you struggle to fall asleep and reach for your phone, remember Elias Moreau. Remember the ward where no one slept. Because the gray suit is still in the corner, and he's waiting for you to stay awake just a little bit longer. Sleep well while you still